Hello everyone, this is Persephone and today we're going to talk about another fetish that I'm sure very few people would dare to talk about, called Scat Fetish or Coprophilia. And I'm saying that not many people would even talk about it because nowadays it's still a huge taboo and people tend to avoid it. But you know me, I have no such inhibition, so here we are. Scat fetish refers to sexual arousal from feces in general, and it can, as always, overlap with other fetishes such as human toilet fetish, okay? Or people who are into panties and they want panties with skid marks from girls, and yes, those people do exist, and the panties are extremely overpriced. The fetish manifests with people who are turned on by watching others defecate, by having someone defecate on them defecating on someone else, or with the act itself, that they get sexually aroused every time they go to poop. There hasn't been much research done about it. I'm going to tell you everything that I know and I've managed to gather undercover from research, but overall the research focuses heavily on BDSM, like sadists and masochists, and people who are actually aroused by defecating on someone as an act of humiliation. But in my opinion, that's just the tip of the iceberg. Not everyone who is into this fetish is necessarily submissive, and if you ask me, do you know someone who has the fetish? Mare, we don't need to search further. And the reason this fetish exists, there are many theories. I'm going to tell you the things that I know and believe, and you can look it up if you're interested. One theory, of course, stems from where else? Childhood. There are people that they started to associate defecation with arousal, and every time you do that as a child, you get conditioned more and more and more to the point that in the end, a fetish is formed. For example, I know people that the only time they had to masturbate were when they were telling their parents that they're going to defecate or use the bathroom. Because even if you want to go pee, it's not enough time. So the only time someone would pretty much leave them alone would be the time where they were supposedly pooping. So if when they were going to defecate, we're deciding to also masturbate, your brain starts associating pooping with sexual pleasure or with sexual arousal. There are other people who are into watching others in a sense of, all things that they are taboo tend to be sexually arousing for some people. And I'm not going to go further away. I'm going to talk about the spy cam in Korea, where there are so many women being pretty much sexually abused with people who installed criminals who installed cameras on bathrooms to watch women when they defecate without their consent. So there is this side of the fetish, and the people who actually like to watch others defecate, they don't necessarily want to act on it or to actually have it in real life. Okay, it doesn't mean that just because someone gets sexually aroused with something, he wants it happening to them. There is another case of people who see it as a sense of intimacy and bonding, like someone who wants to consume his mistress's poop in a sense of getting something mostly intimate, something that most people wouldn't do even in front of their partner or their spouse. Okay, there are people who see it this way. Like I said, for me, I don't kink shame. As long as something doesn't cause problems in your day-to-day life, doesn't leave you homeless, doesn't leave you unemployed, and it's between consenting adults, go ahead and do it. The risk comes with those who want to eat feces, because yes, that category exists. We're going to talk about it, because if you do it with people that you don't know, you can get so many bad things, from hepatitis to intestinal parasites. So if you are into this fetish, please do it with someone you trust or get checked regularly. It's not something that it's just an easy matter, okay? You can get into serious trouble. Other than that, I'm really sad that there is huge taboo over that if you even mention it, you become someone who is ostracized. There is even a subreddit called Coprophiles for whoever is interested to talk to people who have the fetish or read more about the fetish. And of course, you can make a shit ton of money literally by participating in this fetish as someone who does sex work. I'm not going to advise anyone to do it or encourage anyone, just leaving the information out there, okay? You can actually make videos of yourself pooping and sell them to buyers who are going to pay so much, because it's extremely rare. you can actually sell your own poop to people who are your extreme die-hard fans. I know cam girls who do that, and I also know a cam girl who takes the step further. She's an Asian girl, and she has videos where she's pretty much giving enemas to herself, pooping, then stuffing herself up with cookie dough, and then she creates cookies mixed with poop and sells them to her fans. So I think those cookies, after being baked, like hard baked, are safer, but overall it's up to what you like and up to what you want. Okay, I'm not judging here, I'm trying to provide information because I'm sick of people who are actually just shaming. You're embarrassed and you don't want someone to see you. Don't show your face when you're pooping. Overall, I want you to understand, those of you that you're messaging me about how to make money with fetishes and BDSM, the more taboo things you're willing to do, the more money you're going to make and the faster money you're going to make. So the choice is up to you. Like I said, I'm not encouraging, I'm not discouraging, I'm providing information to adults. And even if you see the American psychiatrists and what they're saying, overall there is a more positive view of paraphilias, in a sense of, as long as it doesn't wreck your daily life, that's not a problem. And I don't want any more people hating here on the channel, or also I don't want people sending me creepy messages like, oh my god, I would love to eat your shit. I don't care what you're loving and what you're not loving. I'm definitely not going to meet strangers and shit on their mouth or sell them poop or things like that. Okay, if it's someone who is a long-term sub and I know him for years and it comes to the point that we have this level of intimacy, I would consider it. You know, I don't have inhibitions sexually, but when it comes to meeting random creepers, I'm not going to do that. You have to get that in your mind. This is an informative video. This is not me advertising for losers and broke men who are actually into harassing me, because this is what it is. Okay, if you are into that, I can actually tell you to go into communities such as Color Space and Fet Life, where there are people who are willing to date you and do it for free. If you can't date anyone for whatever reason, time to be locked in chastity, get a vasectomy and shut the fuck up. Okay, personally, I'm not really into the fetish. I don't mind like having people serving me who are into the fetish, but like I said, it's not a thing that I'm particularly into myself. That doesn't mean I kink shame or I don't want to learn about the fetish. I don't consider learning about something taboo, quite the opposite. So that's all for today. If you want to have other fetishes featured, leave your suggestions in the comment section or send me an email and eventually you're going to see them featured. Thank you for watching.